So we all know, some know that why I got started because my daughter was born 2 months early. She did not breathe for the first 12 minutes of her life, had a G-tube, a trach, a shunt, and a ventilator. And as I was working as an assistant school teacher, guys, I went back to my boss, and my boss said these things to me. She said, I only can let you off for 10 days because you haven't been working here long enough. Anything after that will be unpaid days for. I said, God, it has to be another way. And so guess what? I took a look at this opportunity, guys, and never looked back. And so, guys, within the first 5 months, we hit the top position. About 6 months, we was executive director, guys, and I went back to that job. And I told my boss these words. I said, I need to see you in the office because there's something I can't see. She says, what's that? I said, I can't see myself working for you anymore. That's all I'm working at the teaching position, guys, and been a stay-at-home dad ever since. But on top of that, guys, we all know that, last year we had a lot of tragedies in our family, just in our household. Because of our daughter, she passed away January 3rd. My dad was March the 1st. When my brother was March the 1st, my dad's girlfriend was March 16th, and my dad was March 31st. And so even though they didn't pass away, the wife didn't die, they just fueled me to go faster. Y'all got me? And so, as we get started with that, guys, on top of that, Fast Start, how to Fast Start qualify. And we all know the road runner. And so if you're going to Fast Start qualify, you got to get a person engaged as quick as possible so they can get a check. And so this is how we're going to do it. You got to do a game plan interview. Because if you don't do a game plan interview, then guess what? You fail to plan, you plan to fail. Right? And a goal without a plan is just a what? It's just a wish. And so you just can't wish upon that you want to get a check. And so you have to put some work inside of doing your business. Mr. Mike Holmes often said it all the time. He says, guess what? You cannot have $1 million dream and have a minimum wage work ethic. And the reason why most of us don't get Fast Start qualified and get a check, because we don't put in the work. And so you got to put in some work if you want to get a check. And so find out the why. We got to pull back the layers of your why if you really want to push, right, to make this thing happen. And so you're pulling back the layers. Why are you getting started? Because it has to be more than about money. Because when you're not making money, what keeps you in the game? It's really about the mission. And when you really find it in your heart that it is a mission, guys, guess what? You continue to do this even if the money is not tied to it. If that kind of makes sense. And so I got two gentlemen that I want to introduce to you real quick that's going to help pull back the layers of your why. I want to introduce, my buddies, my partners, Mr. Cal D. Spray and Mr. Ben Hildred, 50K ring earners, and we're going to talk about contacting your I love you list. And so I know many people, they say go get 100 names real quick. 100 names is good, but most people don't even want to give you the 100 names. I want to start small and then build big. And so we start small because we're going to contact the favorite 5 people that you talk to the most through the week that say that they love you and that they'll support you. And so I'm going to bring up Mr. Cal D. Spray. Y'all give him a hand. And you give Mr. Ben Hildred a hand, right? And so, sir, you just got started in business, and I really want to know what's your why. What made you jump aboard and say that you really want to give Legal Shield the will to be the will to drive you to your destination?
Well, working a full-time job, working about 7-8 hours a day is just not really cutting it for me, and it's not me from being the real husband that I want to be, and again, being a better father to my son, so I'm really trying to get my time back.
Wow. And so you want to be a better husband, you've been working, all of these hours, and you working Trader Joe's, full-time, but you want to do this business to have that extra supplement. So, if I was to ask you today, who was the favorite 5 people that you talk to on the consistent basis, who would one of those people be?
Oh man, my cousin Big Ben.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to call my cousin Big Ben.
Okay, you know what? This is what I want to do for you, because how many of you know that when you ask your associate to call, their cousin, they don't call?
Right.
So I've learned to do a different way that works for me. If you want to try it, you can try it, but it works for me. And so I'm going to call his cousin with him, right? So he can know that I have his back. I want him to be the exact same way that he would be if I wasn't on the phone. It's your cousin. Talk to your cousin the way that you always talk to him. All right? So let's give him a call.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Big Ben, what's going on, man?
What's up, dude? How we doing, bro?
Oh man, trying to figure it out. Really trying to figure it out.
Man. How are you and the family doing? Good?
Oh man, we good.
Sweet.
Little
What's
tired,
up?
what's up?
What's up, Big Ben? How you doing, sir?
Who's this?
Hey, this is Mr. Riddle. I've heard so many great things about you because I already got the information from Mr. Sprague about his cousin, what he likes, what he doesn't like, and guess what? On top of that, he's going to tell me that, he's successful. And so I'm going to talk to Mr. Big Ben. I'm going to help stroke his ego for him that will make him feel proud, right? And so, Ben, I've heard some great things about you. I heard that you're one of Mr. Sprague's favorite cousin, and he said that you're a cousin that would like to support him. And so I found out that he just joined this business with us, with many mentors and things like that. And so he wants to buy some of his time back because he hasn't been to the family reunion to see you in years. How can we help him get back to the family reunion?
Well, probably supporting him as best we can.
So you're that type of cousin that will support him?
Yeah, I am.
Well, if you're that type of cousin that will support him, guess what? I'm going to send you some information, or I'm going to invite you to one of his private, Zoom conferences in the next 24 to 48 hours. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect.
Sounds perfect, all right? And so there you go, guys. And so that gets the fear off of Mr. Sprague. Because I shared his wife for him. And so instead of it sounding like a pity party coming from him, it came from me. If that kind of makes sense. And so you want to make sure that you call your top 5 people. The first person I called was my best friend since I was 10. I called him and I said, hey, Nick, I need you to get these services from me. It just makes sense. We normally do the same thing together. You may not be interested in the opportunity, but the services make sense. He says, what do I sign up? He signed up, right? I called one of my cousins. I said, hey, cuz, I just started this business. It's called Legal Shield. I don't know if you've heard about it or not, but guess what? It's a great service that can benefit you and your entire family. He says, you know what? I've been thinking about getting a service like that because I had it when I was in the military, and I want to get it again. He signed up. The third person was a lucky charm. I called my mom. I said, hey, Mom, I found the way. Well, I don't have to borrow money from you anymore. She said, what is it? Because you should have called me yesterday, because I'm broke today. Right? But she signed up, guys. And so that was my top 3. So you got to call the people that say that they love you the most. You don't have to share a whole lot of information because if they love you, guess what? They'll support you as long as it's legal. After they got that 5, then you want to go through that list of 100 people and things like that. But you also want to build a relationship with your new associate to let them know that you're going to hold their hand in the midst of going through network marketing. Because most people are new to it. And so you got to let them know that you got to build that relationship with them, that you're going to hold their hand. And so most people quit because guess what? Their sponsor is not a good sponsor. Right? And so they just leave you to fend for yourself. I don't want to leave you to fend for yourself. And then we want to do your grand opening. I want to help you do your grand opening. How many of you guys know that McDonald's do not open up predicated on if you're going to stop there or not? They just open up. And most new associates never open up their business. That's why nobody comes in and shop with them. And so we want to help you launch your business within the first 24 to 48 hours so you can get what? Next. Right? Fast Start qualified. You don't automatically have to go to the Fast Start class within the first 24 to 48 hours because most people say, you know what? This is too much to handle. I can't take all of this right now. So you got to use your discernment to tell when a person can be pushed and when a person, need to be withdrawn from. And so you use your sense of urgency on their why, and that can help you push them to get Fast Start qualified. And then our role is to make sure that the person understands what we do, how it benefits, others. Everybody's not going to get it right away, but if you stay in business long enough, it will help you build a big business. Guys, today I actually sent out a video to a young lady that I've been, pursuing for 3 years, right? But today she signed up for the services. Are you going to stay in business long enough for the person to come back to get the business from you? And so, I like this part right here because I always tell new associates, don't attach your feelings to their answer. Whether it's yes or whether it's no. I call them now labels. You remember we used to eat those? Right, my mom used to give us a packet of that, a pack of 5. And so I used to eat up all of them, Malik, in the first day. My mom said, you can get any more till next week. But now with this business, guys, no don't mean no. Some people get it right now, but somebody will come back and get it later. And the reason why is because it may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot. But if you stay in business, guess what? You got a membership for life. And then, I like to say it's best to call people so they can hear your voice instead of a text message or a group message. I like to call people so they can hear your voice instead of a text message or a group message. Because most group messages, people are going to opt out of them anyway. They're not going to read the information. And then if you're talking about an opportunity, most people say, is this really you? So what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So I like to call the person because I'm excited about my new business and I want to introduce them to what I got going on. Y'all feeling what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, number 10, encourage your new associate that it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. All right? Everybody's not going to sign up. I got 9 siblings, right? All of my sisters and brothers did not sign up when I got started. I'm still working on 2 more. But when you don't attach your feelings to their answer, it don't matter. You got to learn how to have success without them. And when you learn how to have success without them, guess what? Then they'll join you. 5 reasons you didn't get your prospect to sign up. First, you failed to follow up with them. You failed to follow up with them. You got to pick up the phone. And we know that procrastination is the assassination of your destination. Because what don't challenge you won't change you. So you got to pick up the phone. And then guess what? You accepted the first no. No don't always mean no. It just means not right now. Mr. Self, the truth of the matter is that my wife didn't accept my first proposal to take her out. I chased her for a year. But the no didn't mean no to me. Because we're still married almost 8 years later. See, y'all are used to no, right? But when you get in this business, you don't want to take the no. You got to keep on going. My mom told me no a lot of times. She said, no, Jay, you can't have this, no, Jay, you can't do this. But it didn't stop me from asking her the next time, Mom, can I? She said, I heard you the first time. You assume that they wouldn't be interested. We got to stop making the decisions for other people. You got to decide to say, you know what? If it's got to be, it's up to me.